DJI Tello, or the RYZE Tello. I don't know. I mean, it was advertised as RYZE first, but I think people were fooled. It's essentially a DJI product. This is a cheap and very compact drone that connects to your smartphone, and you use your smartphone to control it, to take videos, to take pictures. And it's popular because I think, first of all, it's cheap. It's $100. And most people can use $100, and it's almost disposable, I suppose. Really nice. It's a nice drone for very simple things. I'm sure you can see many reviews to go in depth about it. So, I mean, let's look at the size. First of all, what is that? About 17 centimeters by 5 centimeters about. And let's go for the weight. Very light. Zero that out. And we're looking at, with everything on it, 86 grams or 3 ounces. Pretty cool. So what is this drone for, honestly? What is it for? It's for playing around. It's just people who want to get introduced into the drone world. And yeah, it's just it's more of an indoor thing. So let me do a format of like the good, bad, and ugly. And let's start with the ugly. Let's be optimistic. Let's start with the ugly. So ugly of this drone, it is a horrible nighttime drone. And that is because the camera is pretty basic. It is probably, you know, equivalent to like an iPhone 4 camera. I don't know what to compare it to. It's like you're gonna get really rubbish footage. I'm gonna probably throw in some footage. And not only that, because the technology is using DJI's vision positioning system, you're going to need light for that. So basically, because it doesn't have GPS, it needs enough ambient light, and like really good light. I mean, like indoor or daylight, to really lock in that position. And when it locks in the position, it is really stable. I have tested indoors and parked it in front of a fan, and it held pretty well. Like it ramped up the fan, the different propellers, like adjusting as the wind was passing in front of it, and it was pretty stable. It's pretty good. But you know, so that is the limitation of the biggest limitation. So normally I wouldn't want to go ugly on any products, because I don't want to be so like negative about things. But this really is the biggest negative about this drone. And if you know what it can and what it cannot do, you have your expectations are adjusted, and then you know you won't be disappointed. So ugly, very, very, very important. You cannot use this at night. You cannot use it at night. If you use it at night, it's just gonna drift off. It'll drift off. And I had the situation where actually my app crashed. And I have like I'm using XS Max, so it's like it's not a phone hardware problem. So the app crashed, and then when the app crashed and this Tello was just drifting off, I was like, oh my god, it's drifting off, and I'm trying to reload the app and trying to regain control of it before it just flies away. So yeah, you're just not gonna. It's just not a good idea to fly this at night, because just the footage is just useless. It's so grainy and it's so choppy. It just has no use. Maybe if you want to manually fly it, and maybe you can fly it at night without recording pictures or video. But because you're using a smartphone, you have that kind of inherent lag in the controls, so it's just not so fun. It's not so fun. I mean, if you have a Bluetooth controller, then you can use a Bluetooth controller to connect to it and have more control of it, and it'll be more of a fun, just aerial type of a device. But if you don't have that, then yeah, it's not going to be good. Now let's go talk about the bad. So the bad. All right, I already talked about the ugly, which is it's awful at night. The bad is because it's so small, I almost say that it's an indoor drone. It is 90% an indoor drone. And I talked to my friend who's like very into drones, and whatever he says he recommends to me, he's always right. And like, I was thinking maybe you can use this outdoors and take some shots. And you have seen, videos on YouTube, and people have taken it outdoors. But so I'll throw some footage in as well. If it is windy, it is easily overpowered by wind gusts, and to the point where like the video is so choppy, it's like it starts jumping, because they're using obviously digital stabilization. So that is a bad thing about it. You have to be careful outdoors. You don't have GPS. That if that vision positioning is not getting a good reading on the ground, it's just going to fly off, and you're going to have to manually, visually try to get it back. Okay? And then so you have the range. I think they claim 100 meters, probably like super optimal conditions. And of course, you probably know about this if you've been researching. And that is to use a Wi-Fi extender. It's quite simple to, you turn this on, and then you turn this one on, then you connect this to this, and then connect your phone to this, and then you have a Wi-Fi extender. And that is a solution for increasing your range, or at least the video quality, maybe if you have any choppiness, because there is no micro SD card, there is no onboard recording. So it is whatever transmission you're getting, the quality of it is whatever you're going to get. I mean, there's good and there's bad in it, because it makes it so simple. It probably makes it cheaper, makes it lighter, but and makes it simpler. I love actually the simplicity of the device, but you're just, you're at the mercy of the whatever kind of transmission quality. So just like the Bluetooth controller and the thing, if these are really cheap, you can just buy them, I forget, like $10 or whatever, and you probably have a mobile charger yourself. So this is not a horrible, like solution. It's not a costly solution to aid in your thing, but I kind of understand the design philosophy of how they developed this, and it's not really meant to be a drone to be flown really that far. Initially, they have the altitude limited at 10 meters. They actually raised it to 30 meters, and I have flown into 30 meters, and that's the video. I'll just throw it in there, and my 30 meter video is, you'll see at 30 meters. Actually, the surprising thing is actually it held. That's the surprising thing. It actually pretty good with the visioning. It actually held the position. My hands are sweating. My balls are sweating.
My balls was hot
because I could see it shifting around while it's in the air, and I was thinking, if this drifts off, I'm not gonna get it. I might lose it. Maybe I'll lose a connection point, and then it'll just fly off until it runs out of power, and then yeah. It's, even though it can do 30 meters, it's rubbish footage. There's jello. The video is shaking, and there's jello, and you're at the mercy of winds and whatever might overpower it. So yeah, those are the bad. It's borderline outdoors. You have to be very careful, or just use it very simply. Okay, the good. What's good about it? Okay, of course, the price, right? $100. When I first sort of got into drones, not really, just like kind of testing the waters. I forget. I bought some kind of manual drone, and I think it cost me $70. A Hubsan X4, some kind of Hubsan, very tiny one, and that one was a disaster to fly. It definitely taught you a lot because 100% manual. I'm talking about the altitude and everything drifting off. It just you just can't get really good footage, and it's very hard to keep it stable. So it's probably more of a, like, you fly for stunt or for fun, and then you just crash it, you don't care. But this is like barely more, and it can do so much more. Okay, it can do so much more, and you're just I would say this is a selfie drone. That's what I would describe it. This is the good about it. It's very cheap, so if you lose it, you're not gonna cry or anything like that. Of course, you have like DJI's so popular, like you can buy all the third party like batteries and buy just a ton of these batteries. Each one's gonna last you probably 7 to 12 minutes, depending on if you're recording, if how strong the wind is, etc., etc. You don't even need to buy it. Here's another good, just micro USB, right? You fly it, and in between shots, you just top it off with your mobile charger, and a micro USB. Top it off. You don't even need to buy extra batteries. So, as a droney or a selfie or Wi-Fi or whatever you want to call it, you want to fly it off and then just take a quick shot of like your friends or family, and just maybe like 10 meters, whatever. They have these pre-programmed different flight modes, just like you would find in DJI. Not exactly, of course, but whatever this thing is capable of. It's just like doing a 360 and doing a circle around, something like that, or do up and away. It's kind of like a reveal shot, maybe. And you notice that it's kind of rubbish. It won't go really far back to reveal a mountain, of course, but you wouldn't fly this in the mountain area. So I can imagine you on ground level trying to do, and you don't want to have a selfie stick. You launch it, it's very quick. You activate, you do that, just do a takeoff. You try to do as much automation as possible. You do an up and away video, or you just fly back a little bit, get your, frame your shot, and then take a quick shot. It's better than having a selfie stick, right? Because you have more control. You take a quick shot. I mean, if you have like 10 minutes of flight time or whatever, maybe that's a whole day's worth of just selfies. Like if you're going on vacation and you're just taking stuff off the ground, you want to take selfies. Okay, so then these are the good things. I mean, if you understand what it is, I would say it's 90% indoor. So if you're willing to just play around flying indoors just for fun, this is also what it is. You're gonna the stableness of it indoors is amazing with the visual positioning system, and you got the prop guards, and you can just bounce off the walls inside your house and fly it in. I mean, I just flew it in my apartment, just even without looking at it, just using the video, and it's stable. The height is stable, the video is pretty stable, and then you can just bounce off the stuff. So yeah, I actually think this is, this, I would say it's easy enough for kids to fly. It's easy enough for kids to fly indoors. You find a nice large indoors, and then you can have fun flying it, and the kids are not going to destroy it. They're not going to lose it. As long as you, and also you can do outdoors in safe environment. Safe environment means probably not at top of a mountain, right? You won't do a mountain selfie, but you'll do like a ground selfie, and you won't go probably more than 10 meters away from where you are taking your selfie shot. And yeah, so it'll give you probably enough social media worthy shots. So that's what it is. That is what it does. It's like I said, it is what it is. If you expect this to be a DJI Spark, you're going to be disappointed. It's not a Mavic Pro. You don't fly at night. It has to be well lit. And then, I mean, besides all that, then, it's not bad. $100. I mean, I would say you can buy $100 and let it park, and you have it when you need it. And there's, even when you're traveling, a lot of places are against drones, and you can probably just take a quick shot. Take that quick shot with this and get a selfie, or whatever, and without freaking people out. People get freaked out on drones. They hate them, right? So, but this is like a toy. It doesn't freak out like security guards. So those are all the good things about it. So just as long as you understand what it's designed to do and what it cannot do, then you understand it'll do its job well, the way is what it's designed to do. So I hope that I hope that I illuminated some the idea of what this should be, of what it can be for you. I hope I from my experience, as I've flew it for like about a couple of weeks now, and formed an opinion and really tested it out, so I know what it can and cannot do. I hope that if it's a drone for you, it's definitely a must buy. You know, if you're looking for those kind of simple drone functions, it's so awesome. And it's, you know, definitely with DJI's tech, definitely better than any kind of like small drone like Hubsan, right? I think at this price level, nothing can touch it. You know, DJI, I feel like really they own the whole market on drones. And no matter what they call this, a RYZE, you find this on DJI.com, you know. So that is it. Okay, if you like this video, subscribe, smash, like it. Okay, see you guys.